Hey, everybody. This is Designed Happy, the podcast, where we talk about the human side of home design, remodeling, and new construction. I'm Katie.
And I'm TJ, and I'm so proud of Katie for getting the name of our podcast right. Today's episode is all about feedback, specifically how to give effective feedback for your home design project.
This is actually just Katie's annual feedback episode. Katie's employee feedback episode. No, this did make me think of a Disney World related story about feedback. Oh, do you see what my necklace is doing there?
I don't. What is it doing?
It's shining.
Oh,
It's a little, I got fancy and now it's glaring on the,
okay.
I think it's okay, but I'm going to watch it.
Shining like a light. It's nice.
Oh, see, I went shining. What's that song, Moana?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot. Shine bright like a diamond.
Um, um, that was it. There are three.
And not surprising that you went Disney, though.
An unending amount. I know. I wanna put out here. I am not a Disney adult. No, I am not a. I'm putting this away. It's really getting in. I'm not a Disney adult, but I've gone through a phase for the last 2 years where I feel like I've done a lot of serious things in my. How long have I technically been an adult? 22 years of adulthood. 18 is when we're adults, right? That's what we say. Yeah. Okay. So
Officially.
in my 22 years of being an adult, I feel like I've done very like serious things, very adult things. And in the last 2 years, I've been like, I just want to ride rides and eat candy. Like I just want to ride rides and like go somewhere that is just like happy. So that's been my thing for 2 years. But how it's relevant to what we're talking about today. We go there in my family. There are three of us, myself and Mark, other adult, and then our 13-year-old Zoe. And we're all pretty open to all kinds of rides, which is also a reason we go, because now we can like all ride enough rides. And yeah, we're all like pretty open to rides. But Zoe won't go on certain rides. There are like 3 rides, I think, that Mark and I like going on that she's like, I'm a no. And like my family knows, like I also have rides too that I'm a no, but it's motion sickness stuff. It's like I don't do any of that virtual or anything like that. But we were having a we were having a we went last year and she was very good at saying why she didn't want to go on certain rides. Like surprisingly good. I was just the kid that was like scared of things. So I was like, I just don't want it. It's just scary. But like Zoe had it categorized. She was like, I don't do anything that's a free fall drop. I won't do that. I won't do anything that goes upside down. And oh, there's a third thing, but it's gone because you shouldn't keep anything in your brain a list longer than 2. She won't do free fall drops. She won't do upside down.
Should I guess? Let's see.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
She won't do anything where the character is in the line with you.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. She's better at that now. Like, she actually really likes fully costumed characters. Anything that's a human dressed up. As a theater kid, I don't understand this, but anything that's like a princess, she's like, nah, that's weird. Like doing that. Like, but you Free fall
Oh,
drop, free fall
but
drop upside down.
backwards?
No, I hate backwards.
Hmm.
But oh gosh,
Let's just pretend it's backwards.
let's pretend it's backwards. Yeah, but it was and we were like, we can't argue with that. That's pretty, like, you know what you'll do and what you won't do. Okay. So then I was trying to get her on Rock and Roller Coaster, the Aerosmith ride in Disney. And she was like, yeah, mom, it goes upside down. And I was like, no, it doesn't. And she like pulls up the data and she's like, it goes upside down. I'm not going on that. I'm like, oh, okay. Um, but we were like, okay, is there a ride you'd be willing to try? Uh, that's in these like 3 rides that you won't do. Um, and so we're going through them and we're like running them against her criteria, her feedback, if you will. And there's one of them that like it checks all the boxes. And she was like, yeah, okay, I guess I gotta try it. Like she was like, I feel scared to try it, but it doesn't fall into these 3. So yeah, I'll do. It's like I was so me- methodological,
Methodical?
methodical. Thank you.
Is that it?
That's it. That's it. I knew you could do that. But that's one of those cases where I'm like, our thing has always been, okay, but tell us like why you're not willing to try that food. Or like, what is it about that? We're not going to force you, but like you should you should get to know for yourself why you don't like something. And with these, she was kind of on it.
Bing,
So,
bang, boom.
but we're not here to talk about roller coasters and rides. We're here to talk about feedback in the home design process. Unless you want to talk about roller coasters and rides.
I mean, we can. We just spend the next 22 and a half minutes on roller coasters.
How are you? Do you do rides, TJ?
No. No, that's not true. Rarely is the right way to say it.
Yeah.
I get motion sickness very easily, too easily.
Mm-hmm.
So generally I don't go on rides. A bunch of years ago, my niece turned 13, so we took her to what is the what is the park? It's local, King's Dominion,
Yeah, yeah.
and she really wanted to go on this roller coaster. And it goes like upside down and it has twists, and I'm like, I'm not going on that thing. And Kat was like, well, I'm not going on it with her. So there's only one person left. And so it was her birthday and she
Oh my
wanted
God.
us to take her there. So I went on this. I wish I remember the name, but I do it so infrequently. I don't even. So there, there are those cameras that they have
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
along the ride. So
And what did it
there's
look like?
I gotta find the if I can find the picture, I will edit it into this video.
Yay!
I can't promise I'll find it though. It exists somewhere. I can't remember if it's a physical picture or if we took a picture of the picture. I don't
Cat,
remember,
you're
but
listening. Find the picture, cat. Cat, find the picture.
but I so there's the bars that come over your head,
Yeah.
right? So they're over your shoulders and on your chest. And then there's handlebars on those bars. So there's a picture of me holding those bars for dear, like death grip. And my face is like, oh my God, get me out of here. It's like the worst 90 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think that's what's really I get motion sick riding in cars. I get motion sick getting out of bed. I can't do I can't do VR rides. I can't do like any like 3D anything like that. I have started using a motion sickness patch, which I would just shout out to that. That's life changing. That's even the ride to the airport. I was like, wait a minute. I feel fine. This is amazing. Um, but I can do big, like upside down. I can do all of that. Do not put me backwards and do not put a screen in front of me.
Mm.
Or if it goes way, way too fast, I can't do that. But I thought of the third thing that
Okay.
she's
Perfect. Perfect timing.
because we've all been on edge. It's if the ride cart itself moves separate from the track.
Oh,
The again, incredibly specific. And we were like, "Why don't you like this ride?" And she's like, "Because the ride itself moves like independent from the track."
interesting.
And I was like, "Fair, I guess."
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's a thing, TJ. It's a
Hmm.
thing.
I
Well,
learned something new.
why is feedback? Why are we
Ten,
here?
10 minutes in, we'll finally get to this is like one of our team meetings, 10 minutes of nonsense. We're
That's
right on it.
right. Well, yeah. Okay, so what about feedback matters in the home design process? You pretend you got to convince me. I don't believe you. Feedback isn't important. Tell me why. Why do you need feedback?
We need feedback because there is no progress without it. If so, I start most of the meetings that I conduct with some version of what I'm about to say. So it goes something like, this is not a decision meeting. This is a feedback meeting. I don't expect for you to see one of these three
Mm.
things and just say, that's it, give it to me, no more conversation. What I am interested in is feedback. So when you don't like something or when you do like something, I want you to try to articulate why you feel the way you do. Because when you tell me that, I can use that to inform the next version of this. So that could be, we have a new custom home that we're designing in Virginia. So I just had this conversation just a couple of days ago because we had our first design meeting. There were three different versions of this custom home and all of them have pros and cons. So I told them exactly that I don't expect you to pick A, B, or C. What I am asking you to do is give me some feedback. This is a feedback meeting. So they provided that this is what I like. This is what I don't like. I make notes in the PDF and I often say, okay, great. Like the laundry room is too small in this one. Why is it too small? What are you missing from this version of the laundry room that you would like to have in another laundry room? Because saying the laundry room is too small, it's technically feedback, right?
Yeah.
But it's not specific enough feedback for it to be useful for me. So if the laundry room is drawn at, I don't know, make up a number, 8 feet by 8 feet, if I don't know if that's what it was or not, but let's say that's what it was. And they go, okay, the laundry room's too small. And the next time we come back together and I make it 9 feet by 9 feet, or I do the other extreme and I make it 20 feet by 20 feet.
Uh-huh.
Neither of those things is helpful because I don't know what too small means. So the first thing
I'll
that I
tell
need
you. Yeah.
to get them to agree to is I'm going to give you some feedback. And then what I need to do is when they give the feedback, ask a follow-up question to understand the feedback.
Hmm. Even if you think you could probably guess it, even if you think you have a good idea, because yeah, for me, it would stop there. I'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, it's too small. I get it. I'd assume why.
So having been wrong enough, now I know that I don't know.
Okay. Okay. That will teach one. Hmm. Um, along with too small, uh, so that all of us out there can take notes. Other unhelpful feedback.
Oh, all of it. So I just gave you an example about a floor plan, right? The laundry room is too small. It could also be um, product related. So
Yeah.
this often happens if we go to the showroom. A showroom can be an overwhelming place. We had our Nailed It comic strip came out, I don't know, a couple months ago, I guess, that was related to a showroom maybe a month ago. And it can be an overwhelming place. So in that overwhelm, people will often just give you their gut, oh my God, no, I hate it.
Mm.
And that kind of reaction's not helpful. And in the book, I wrote about this, and you and I have both seen this show Schitt's Creek,
Yes.
and I wrote about it like Alexis, the character Alexis. So any kind of feedback, if the only thing you say is ill gross, I can't do an Alexis impression. I don't know.
Is that an
But just
invitation? To,
if you could do it, that is absolutely an invitation.
I'll save it for
Okay.
a nonsense because once you go in, it's really hard to come out. So,
You even did so people you have to go to YouTube and watch this because you did the hands too.
do a whole episode. We'll do a whole episode just of Lexus.
Listen, A plus. That was you got into character in a half a second. You're a pro.
Um, but you're saying Alexis style feedback, while cute and endearing, not helpful.
Right? Because let's use the way I wrote about it was with tile. So let's say we're picking
Mhm.
a tile. And I send the tile person in the showroom that we're going to meet with an email ahead of time to try to get them prepped for the meeting. So they have 3 samples out waiting for us. Right? So we get there and you look at them and you're like, ill gross. And then they go, okay. And they go in the back and they get 3 more samples and bring them out. And you're like, ew, gross. We can do that on repeat forever. I mean, really what you're doing is waiting for them to take the entire stock that they have in the back room from a box out to the table we're on until there's one you like. And that's literally multiple days exercise.
Yeah, right. Well, and I know I've like overused this word at this point in these episodes, but it sounds like you're taking it from really a reflexive response to a like more thought out, a more conscious, a more something more than just your first reaction.
For sure. And sometimes the first reaction is positive. And I used to take that and be done with it and say, oh, you like
Mhm.
it? Great.
Yeah.
Having done this for long enough, people will often second guess themselves a week, 2 weeks, 2 months later and be like, oh, wait, why did I like that? So when I can understand when you say, oh my God, I love it, that's perfect. That's not the period at the end of the sentence. It's
Mhm.
okay, this is still an opportunity for additional feedback. What is it that you love about it? Because I need to remember what it is because I might need to remind you, or there might be something that you love about it that we can apply to something else entirely, like the
Okay.
paint color or crown molding or that detail that you loved at the bevel in the tile. Maybe we can recreate that bevel on with the countertop edge. Uh, right? So understanding what you love and why you love it is equally important to hating it. It's normally easier for people to say they hate something though than they love it. So most of the time it's ill gross.
And do clients pick up on this? Do they start um yeah, do they start doing this themselves after you've after you've asked them, after you've done the follow-up questions? Do you find that they usually
Hmm.
they get into it and they start
Yeah,
giving fuller feedback?
they do for sure. So all of the time, I tell the same thing to the same people. So before we present the first floor plans, I do that disclaimer. This is not a decision meeting. It's a feedback meeting, the whole thing. When we're outside the showroom, it might be slightly different.
Uh-huh.
It's if you see something you love, that's great. We can get it. When you see something you love or you see something you don't love, I'm still looking for feedback. So feedback's not finished. This is also a feedback meeting, but it might also be a decision meeting.
Did you say feedback's not finished?
I don't know what I said. I never remember what I said. I don't know. I honestly, it's like most of the time when I talk, I'm like Will Ferrell in Old School. I completely black out and I don't know what I say.
Oh, okay. That oh gosh, I wish I could do that.
I swear, Katie, the only reason I remember any of the stuff that we talk about in these podcasts is because I wrote it down in the book. If not for if not for having written it,
That's the
I
key.
got nothing.
Okay, I will write a book between now and our next episode to help me with this. But no, it sounded like feedback is not it sounded very, like, coinable. Feedback is not finish.
Mm,
Um,
I don't know.
is there a point y when you're done with the feedback in the process?
Yes. Yeah, when the house is built.
Were you gonna say obviously? Were you gonna say obviously?
I would
No.
never say that to you. Nope. Um, yes,
Dummy?
at so when 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 we get to we have to finalize the selections at some point. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
you're never going to build the thing that you want. So at some point the feedback has to be finished, and the asking for feedback is great, and it's also a curse because it is an invitation to offer feedback all the time.
Mhm.
And there does come a point in the process where it's like, I love that you're giving me feedback. Thank you for internalizing it and providing it. We can certainly continue down this path, but if you want to actually start building something, we need to finalize at some point and stop the feedback. That can be at any point in time you want. I'm not rushing you to finalize it, but you need to be aware that at some point, the feedback is counterproductive and it slows everything down. So at the beginning, when there's typically zero and all you get is ill gross,
Yeah.
that zero feedback that slows things down. At some point, too much feedback can also slow it down.
Okay. Any any advice or quick tips for people who are not well practiced in giving feedback or in even for themselves going beyond the I just don't like it. And I'm going to say that take you don't get to say why. You don't get to because we've already had an episode on the whys. Um, any other tips on
Yes.
okay.
If just pick one, you might hate everything about the thing that you're looking at. Like let's say you wanted a very plain white tile.
Hmm.
That's a rectangle. You want white subway tile. And somebody shows you and some kind of organic shaped brown tile with all kinds of embossing on it. And it's just the opposite of what you want. And you're so taken aback that you're just like, that is the most disgusting tile I've ever seen. And I apologize to the people who manufacture the organically shaped brown embossed tile. I'm sure it's lovely. But in this case, this fake person hates it. And they're so overwhelmed that all they can say is ill gross. Try to pick one thing about it. You might hate 10 things about it, but just pick one
Mm,
and start the feedback that way. I hate the shape of it.
okay.
And then by saying one thing, then I can ask a question. Okay, what is it about the shape? Is it too organic? Is it too big? Is it too round? I don't know, whatever it is. And then that gives you an opportunity to answer a much simpler question. Instead of everything is terrible, it's what is it about the shape that's terrible? It's not rectangular enough in this case.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to go through that and be like, what would it be? Like, it's the shape. And so you'd follow up with some like, okay, let's get more detailed. Let's get more specific as to why this again, it all sounds like a self-discovery experience. It's all actually therapy in the tile department. People getting to know themselves better. That's what it sounds like to me at least.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And sometimes people really do struggle with picking one thing. And
Mhm.
if that's true, then my advice would be to say, I don't know what I don't like about it. I'm having trouble articulating it. Design professional I'm working with or showroom representative I'm working with, can you give me some of the language that I'm missing right now to help me articulate it? So I don't know what I'm looking
Yeah.
at.
Yeah.
I know that I hate it. Ask me some questions about what you're seeing, and then that'll give me something to react to. So then they might say, okay, I'm seeing that it's an organic shape. Would you like that, or would you like something more rectangular? And they, in this instance, would say, I like something more rectangular. Then they could ask another question. The color is brown. Do you like brown? Do you like any colors, or would you prefer something more plain? And they would say, oh, actually, I really prefer white.
Hmm.
And then they could say, um, there's a lot of embossing on this tile. Do you like the adornment that's on it? And you would say, actually, I hate the adornment that's on it. I want something much simpler. And then with asking them to walk you through the exercise, then they can go in the back and get a 3x6 subway tile, a 2x4 subway tile, and a 4x12 subway tile and say, here are three different white rectangular tiles that don't have any adornment on them. And now that's a totally different decision because you like the color, you like the shape, and you're just trying to pick the size.
Yeah. As I'm listening through this, it does sound like the sort I'm imagining the tile lady in my mind. And she's like, ma'am, I have other customers. Like it's the sort of thing that seems to take a lot of time at the start, but I'm imagining, and I can hear you saying it saves so much time once you're in the process, once you're on the like to get clear on these things as you are really picking out what's going to be a part of your home. Uh, ends up ends up saving you a lot of time and other things, I'm imagining, on the back end.
Yes. So here's the thing. So you've mentioned before, and if anyone sees our website, they'll learn that we do architecture, interior design, custom cabinetry, and bespoke furniture. We tie those four things together because most people doing a big complicated project need all four.
Mhm.
And in the heavy air quotes normal way, people would work with different professionals to get those things done. And when that happens, you need to have those feedback conversations with everybody you're working with. If you're doing a project on your own without a design professional, if you're going to the tile showroom,
Yeah.
you leave the tile showroom, that showroom representative's not coming with you. Then you're going to the plumbing showroom and you're starting from scratch there. You're going to the countertop place, you're starting from scratch there. So you're starting from scratch over and over and over again. And the reason we bundle all of these things is so that we learn it once and then it carries over into all of the other parts of the process. So what you're saying when you say it takes more time at the beginning, but it saves time overall is one of the main reasons that this wasn't supposed to be a commercial for our service, but
You're
the,
really
the way
committed to the bit. TJ,
That's,
laying it on heavy.
but yes, I'm acknowledging, yes, it does take more time up front. It absolutely does, but it's time that can be carried into the other parts of the process if you have a design professional, whether it's us or someone else, that's helping you along the way and can listen to what you're saying, internalize it, and help you carry that information from one place to the next.
Because it does take a lot of energy to go through that process, to go through and get clear. And while it might be very exciting to know those things about yourself, that doesn't necessarily mean you want to have that conversation 5 times and have to
Mhm.
be the person who relays it to everybody. Um, in case you blacked out and missed what you said like a minute and a half ago, I do want a shirt that says, I don't know what I'm looking at, but I hate it. That feels that feels great.
Design happy merch.
It's not on brand with Design
It's
Happy,
not.
but on
We'll
brand
we'll
for me.
do we'll do a one off for you.
Yeah, there we go. Designed disgusted. Um, huh. Anything else you think that people need to know about feedback as someone who has been receiving and has become an expert in how to give effective feedback before we sign off for today?
I guess I would say any feedback is better than no feedback. So
Mhm.
even if it's not effective yet, something is better than nothing. I somebody told me once when I had this big project that I was working on and I was struggling and it seemed overwhelming. And I think a lot of people in the remodeling process feel that same kind of overwhelm. They think about the big giant project and oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Um, so I had this thing I was working on and I was talking to this guy about how I was feeling overwhelmed. And he said to me, listen, two is twice as much as one. And I was like, great feedback. Thanks so much for the advice. And then he was like, but one is infinitely more than zero. So just do something and it's way better than just thinking about two. So what I'm trying to get at here is the feedback doesn't have to be effective yet as long as you start to offer it.
Right. Which, thank you for saying that as someone who, again, might walk into this process feeling like you can't, feeling like, you get to, as the customer and client, you get to share what you want and what you hope for, and then you have to leave it in the professional's hands, and you don't get to say what's good or bad or that that's not part of the process. I bet there are people who needed to hear that, TJ.
Well, then I'm
Well,
glad they listened.
me too. I hope they keep listening too, because we'll be here.
We will. And I haven't done my Jerry Maguire close in a while. And this feels like a good place to remind everybody that we don't know who's thinking about doing a project. You know because you're talking to your friends about it. So please help us help them by sharing this podcast with them so that they can learn how to offer feedback and have a better experience. So do us a favor, share it with someone who needs it, and we want them to have the best experience possible, and education is the easiest way to do it. So go send the link to somebody,
That's right, because your
please and thank you.
experience shouldn't be gross. All right. Well, if that's all for now, till next time.
We did it again. See you then.
Bye.